Today's Hiwatt soundbite is totally inspired by AIRMAIL. Well, the inspiration for today's session came directly from my postbox last Friday. When I went and checked the mail, I found this little nugget. This is addressed to Hiwatt Marshall. It's from Controversial in Belgium. And I haven't opened up this package yet, but I know exactly what's inside here. You know, I grew up in this business before the internet, if you can imagine. And this is exactly how we used to share music globally. I mean, it wasn't unusual in my business to receive 3 or 4 random CDs from around the world every month. And it's something that's so rare today that when I reached in my mailbox and I found this last Friday, totally inspired me to want to have a listen to it. Let's check this thing out. Oh man, I've never heard Controversial before, but we're about to. Let's check this thing.
Oh man, here we go. Be careful, Tim, don't touch yourself.
All right, let's check this thing out. What do we got? Out of the packaging. Ooh, very nice. Digipack. You know, I've always loved the Digipack format. What a brilliant presentation that is. You open the thing up. Look at that. What a beautiful looking disc that is. Lots of area for artwork. Guy's got a booklet. Hey, Ken, enjoy. Bart, I sincerely want to thank you for sharing your music with me, bud. This is awesome. This is really beautiful, man. This is a great job of putting this booklet together. Great artwork. I love the font, the kind of sort of handwritten font you put together. Absolutely beautiful package. And I love your images. These are just so cool. Let's check it out. Okay. For me, that requires that I actually get out of my chair, go load this CD in a super drive that's in front of my iMac. Oh, this is just way too much fun. I promise you, I've never heard Controversial before, but I'm very excited to check it out. Well, that's a killer sounding mix in my studio. Bart, nice job and great mastering job too. You know, there are so many things in that mix that are really well done that's all I'm gonna focus on. As a listener, I'm not gonna be listening to that track trying to find what's wrong with it. So I'm absolutely not gonna do that today either. The balance and the overall tone that's coming through my monitors sounds huge, and the width is absolutely awesome. Great job at hard panning some of those sound effects. So effective in your mix. Those are big, loud, awesome guitars, and they come across really well in your track, particularly balanced against all those amazing sound effects that you got rolling around. That stuff creates killer mixes. And it sounds to me like you've sort of pulled that width in just a little bit on those guitars. It doesn't sound to me like they're panned hard left and right. And the beautiful thing about that is that they're still plenty wide in the mix. They're absolutely huge and big sounding, but you've sort of left that super wide area in your mix available for other stuff. You know, when we take our rhythm guitars and we pan them hard left and right and crank those things up in the mix, we've sort of limited what we can do with that extreme left-right thing. When we start throwing things back and forth, and we've also got the guitars hard pan left and right, it's not as effective sometimes as what Bart seems to have done here. It seems like they've sort of pulled those guitars in a little bit, made them, they're still plenty wide, but they're not extreme wide, right? And so all those sound effects and everything that you've got bouncing around, in my view, those things are probably much more effective than they would have been had you had those guitars panned left and right. I'm just sort of taking a guess, but it sounds to me like you had that in mind when you were mixing this thing, that you were absolutely thinking about that super wide left and right and how you can take advantage of it.
There are 3,000 marketing messages every day coming into your brain.
The imagery of advertising has gone totally psychedelic. It creates, I think, a powerful dissonance within the culture. And it breeds a greater cynicism. Cynicism, cynicism, cynicism.
Yeah, I'm noticing some very cool drum processing going on in these mixes. You know, it feels like a really good hybrid of electronic drums and acoustic, whether they're sampled or played. Definitely have a feeling like there's electronic and acoustic drums going on in these tracks. And I really dig the stereo imaging going on. It's all over the map. In some songs, those drums are like lush and wide. In other tracks, it's just all coming right from the middle. I love stuff like this because, you know, how many times do we hear an album where the first song starts and that drum sound doesn't change until album end, right? I love this kind of mashup where every song has a radically different kind of drum sound and different drum process. Really, really cool. Yeah, nice job, Bart. And thank you so much for sharing your CD with me. This is a wonderful looking package. I love your digipack. The whole package is really well put together and the mixes sound really good in my studio, no question. I love what you're getting up to. The imaging is huge. The mastering sounds good. You got blazing levels on the thing. It's just absolutely a hot disc. This is just such a killer project. Well, thank you very much for sitting in on today's session, and special thanks to Bart and Controversial for mailing me their new album. You know, I had no intention of sharing this on the channel, but it just seemed like such a suitable thing to do. Somebody has gone through a lot of work, created a beautiful digipack release, and then went to the trouble to mail me a physical copy to my post box in British Columbia, Canada. I promise you, Bart, I'm looking forward to listening to this whole album. This thing sounds really good in my studio. I'm looking forward to checking it out top to bottom. I see you got some cool remixes going on too. Nice job.